Hey everybody! So first of all, I'm sorry I'm having to do this as a selfie. We're on a road trip right now to doing opportunity meetings around the country in our RV. So this is all I've got. Our Wi-Fi isn't working very well here at the RV park, so I can't use my computer to upload any kind of videos or anything. So today's topic of the day is leadership and how to teach leadership. So we all know that leadership and bringing up leaders underneath you is extremely important. The more leaders that you bring up and the more leaders that you have beneath you, the more explosive your growth, the bigger momentum you have, and the more longevity you have in this business of network marketing. The more followers you bring up underneath you, the more that growth kind of stops right there with them. So the goal and the name of the game is to bring up leaders underneath us and to train them and to get them going and to have as many leaders truly leading teams beneath us and exponentially growing and outperforming us as their leader. That is the goal. So I wanted to talk to you guys. Of course, leadership is duplicated and leadership is modeled by the leader that has come before them. So what that means is the very first step in teaching duplication and leadership on your team is to model it yourself. So I wanted to start this conversation off a little bit about how to model it yourself, things to think about, ways to grow yourself as a leader, and then we'll go into talking about how to teach it, because the best way to teach is to model. So obviously, we want to work really hard on personal development. We want to hone our own leadership skills and seek out information in regard to how to be a great leader. So leadership books, John Maxwell is incredible. 21 Laws of Leadership, which I'll talk a little bit more in this. John Addison, he spoke at convention, he's fabulous. And then of course, the strengths-based leadership, work within your strengths, not within your weaknesses. So seek out those things, seek out videos, seek out information online. I know when I was trying to learn how to become a better leader, I had to understand what went into leadership first. So one of the biggest things is vision. You have to have a vision of where you want to take your team and what it's going to take to get there. And you have to have a very clear vision. Because if you're working without a purpose, you're likely to get lost and you're likely to come up against roadblocks that you're not going to be able to navigate around. So having that vision and then helping your leaders beneath you have that vision as well. So understanding kind of what it's going to take to get your team to the next level. That can be from a points growth perspective, but it can also be from a navigation perspective. What is your team lacking? What is your team really good at, and what needs to be worked on? Whether that's a duplication system, whether that's just basic training. Don't overcomplicate things, but really have a solid understanding of how to get from point A to point Z. You want to be able to get to diamond if that's your goal, but you need to understand what it's going to take to get there and how you need to get your leaders moving and yourself moving and what your team needs from you. So a solid vision of what you want your team culture to be, what you want your team pace to be, that type of thing. Seek out mentors for this and everything. Talk to your uplines. Help really establish what that vision is going to look like for you, but have a clear written down vision that you revisit daily of what you want to do with your team. So that's number one. The second is good leaders are really solid listeners. Focus on what your team needs and listen to what they need. Become a really fabulous coach to them and really work on your listening skills. If you are the one constantly talking when you're coaching them, you're not truly listening to their needs. So model that good listening, that caring, that, hey, what's in it for them, not for me. Be that beacon of light for them and really listen and show that you care about them. You also want to take the focus off of yourself and your rank and put it onto them and their rank and how you can help them be successful. This teaches them to do the exact same thing with their team. So taking that true servant mentality leadership role and really, pushing that forward and pushing that out to them. You are also the person that sets the pace for your team. Now, that pace is obviously something that's really, really key. You want a fast pace, but you don't want an overwhelming pace. So that's something to think about. But you want a pace that is filled with excitement, that is filled with keeping people committed and focused. I'm sorry about this selfie thing right now. But keeping people focused and committed and keeping people going at a pace that is great for growth. So too slow of a pace causes some issues, but that fast-paced growth is what we're after. So definitely being the pace setter for your team is really, really key. It's easy to let things slip during the summer months, but that can't happen. You've got to be the pace setter. You've got to be the one showing up day in, day out with visible activity, transparent activity, and a high amount of pace and communication with your team to keep them on track and to keep them accountable. And then that pace also transcends into your pace for your personal business. So are you still adding people? Are you still bringing new customers on? Are you still at the top of the leaderboards? Work on that too. So that pace is really, really key. That pace duplicates down. The other half of that pace is bringing excitement to the team, and that high energy and that love of Plexus, and then that belief. So as a leader, you are the person that sets the tone for belief on your team. You are that lighthouse. You are that beacon of never wavering belief within this, for the products, for the business, for everything. You are your team's belief. You are the belief backbone of your team. So you need to ooze that out of every pore in your body. That belief is contagious, and that excitement is contagious. So teach that, duplicate that. If you don't have that going on in your team, it's going to be very, very difficult for your team to have that. So just emanate belief from you, from every part of you. And of course, that excitement also follows that as well. So with this, and as you're talking to your team and you're coaching them and you're teaching them how to be leaders through your modeled behavior, you guys are going to come up against roadblocks and problems. But when those things arise, you need to teach them to be the positive thinkers during times of issue, not the negative people that complain and moan on the team pages or within group threads or anything like that. You need to turn everything into a positive. You need to be that lighthouse for them of positivity. So during the storm, you're the one that they come to, and you turn it into a positive. You teach them how to start that positive thinking and mindset. That's a huge component of leadership, is being positive in a difficult situation. It's going to make those huge roadblocks and mountains look like tiny little hills that you guys are just going to navigate around. So definitely be the problem solver for your team, and that problem solving, that way of thinking, absolutely duplicates. So anytime your leaders bring a problem to you, be like, you know what, it's okay, let's fix it. So be that fixer. The other thing is, one of the things that has helped me, and we're going to start talking about duplicating and teaching to your leaders now, but one of the major things that has helped me is choosing the leaders that you're choosing to coach up and to turn into great leaders. Leadership obviously has some natural abilities, and but some of the components of leadership can also be taught. So that's a big thing. So look on your team, regardless of rank, and who do you think has the most solid belief? Who has the most solid skills and the excitement and the commitment that it's going to take to go to the top? Who wants this? You cannot coach somebody and raise somebody up to be a leader that doesn't truly want this. You can't want this more than them. So choose people that you see great potential in. Choose people that you are excited to see move up to the top and who also want to move up to the top. Choose people that you see those great leadership skills laying deep down inside that you can help bring out. So what I like to do is I like to have a focus group that I help to work, bring up as leaders, about 5 or 6 people at a time, and some people that are very, very coachable, but also are very willing to go out on their own. So they have that gumption and they have that initiative and that type of thing. So I start by doing a focus group with the 21 Laws of Leadership. We meet once a week and we discuss each chapter. The 21 Laws of Leadership is a book by John Maxwell, and it's the basic 21 chapters, obviously, and so you can split it up into 10 weeks. And then you have discussions on Zoom about what those chapters mean and everything. I think that's a really, really good way of learning leadership and of duplicating leadership, just the real basics. But in the meantime, I want you guys to realize that, you know, my name is Sarah Taylor. This is, for me, this is not the Sarah Show. This is something that, you know, my team page and everything that goes on it, I like to include my leaders. I like to empower them. So if you see somebody on your team, empower them. If you see someone that has those natural leadership abilities that you think can go really far in this business, start empowering them now. Give them something to do on the team page. Let them start running with something, whether that's a couple leadership calls or training calls or what have you for the team. Let them run a contest. Let them do something on the team page. Post some videos, something like that. Give them some things to run for the team to show them that you believe in them and to allow them to start to empower them to start doing things on their own. Help them learn how to start running events and that type of thing. They need that empowerment and that initiative, and they need that chance to learn out from under you. So go over those 21 laws of leadership with them, those books. Start taking these people under your wing and be a coach to them. Start talking to them on a weekly basis about, you know, their vision. Help them understand their vision. Help them build their belief and that type of thing. Those components that I mentioned at the beginning of this video about the belief, the vision, the understanding their why, being a positive problem solver, those types of things, and that those listening skills and that communication, and then switching their view from their ranks and their successes to their team's successes. Those are the things that are going to take them really, really far in this business. So I hope that this video helped you guys to kind of understand how to start teaching your team to have great leadership. You guys have a great day, and I'm so excited about this summer sprint. Thanks, guys.